For centuries, the world has been fascinated by the tombs of ancient rulers, grand monuments to power, legacy, and the afterlife. But what happens when these legendary resting places vanish without a trace? Take Alexander the Great, one of history's most celebrated conquerors. His tomb was once a site of pilgrimage, visited by emperors and kings. Yet today, its location remains one of archaeology's greatest unsolved mysteries. Why have tombs like his eluded discovery despite centuries of searching? What secrets do they hold, and why do they continue to captivate us? From vanished pharaohs to lost emperors, these ancient tombs are more than just missing relics. They're puzzles that challenge our understanding of history itself. Join us as we uncover the stories behind the most mysterious tombs that were never found, and explore the clues, theories, and unanswered questions that keep historians and adventurers searching to this day. This is a journey into the heart of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. Few figures in history captivate the imagination quite like Alexander the Great. A military genius who carved out an empire stretching from Greece to India, his life was as extraordinary as his death was shrouded in mystery, after his untimely passing in Babylon in 323 BC. The fate of his remains became one of history's most enduring puzzles. Historical accounts suggest he was initially buried in Memphis, Egypt, before his body was moved to Alexandria, a city he himself had founded. Yet, despite centuries of searching, the exact location of his tomb remains elusive. What makes this mystery even more intriguing is the sheer number of theories that have emerged over the years. Some believe his tomb lies beneath the bustling streets of modern Alexandria, hidden by layers of time and urbanization. Others speculate it could be in the deserts of Egypt or even in Macedonia, his homeland. The search for Alexander's final resting place has attracted everyone from archaeologists to treasure hunters, each driven by the allure of uncovering a piece of history. Yet, despite their efforts, his tomb has never been found, leaving us to wonder if it was deliberately concealed or simply lost to the ages. As we ponder the fate of Alexander's tomb, it's worth noting that his story is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. Across history, other legendary figures have left behind similar mysteries, their final resting places just as tantalizingly out of reach. These unsolved enigmas remind us that even the greatest figures of the past can vanish into the shadows of time, their stories waiting to be uncovered by those who dare to seek them. The mystery of Genghis Khan's final resting place is one of history's most enduring enigmas. As the founder of the Mongol Empire, Khan's legacy reshaped the world, yet the location of his tomb remains a secret shrouded in deliberate mystery. When Khan passed away in 1227, those who buried him went to extraordinary lengths to ensure his grave would never be found. According to legend, the soldiers who carried out the burial were executed, and the ground was trampled by horses to erase all traces. Some accounts even suggest a river was diverted to flow over the site, burying it underwater forever. Theories about where his tomb might lie have captivated historians and treasure hunters for centuries. Many believe it could be hidden in the rugged Altai Mountains, a region that holds deep spiritual significance for the Mongol people. Others point to the Burkhan Koldun area, a sacred mountain Khan himself revered. Despite countless expeditions and advanced technology like satellite imaging, no definitive evidence has surfaced. What makes this search so compelling isn't just the promise of uncovering priceless artifacts or solving a historical puzzle. For the Mongol people, finding Khan's tomb is a matter of cultural and spiritual importance. He is not just a historical figure, but a symbol of unity and strength. The secrecy around his burial adds to his mystique, making him a legend that continues to inspire awe. What's fascinating is how the effort to conceal his tomb wasn't just about hiding a physical location. it was about protecting his legacy from those who might seek to disturb his eternal rest. This idea of tombs being hidden not just by nature but by human design adds another layer of intrigue to the story, and as we'll see, it's a theme that repeats itself in other ancient mysteries. The story of Cleopatra and Mark Antony is one of history's most enduring tales of love, betrayal, and tragedy. But what adds another layer of intrigue to their legacy is the mystery surrounding their final resting place. Historical accounts, including those from the Roman historian Plutarch, suggest that after their deaths in 30 BCE, the two lovers were buried together in a grand tomb, a fitting end for one of the ancient world's most famous couples. Yet, centuries later, their tomb remains one of history's great unsolved mysteries. Archaeologists have long been drawn to Taposiris Magna, a site near Alexandria in Egypt, where excavations have uncovered tantalizing clues. Among the findings are coins bearing Cleopatra's image, intricate statues, and tunnels beneath a temple that hint at a royal burial chamber. But despite decades of searching, the tomb itself has eluded discovery. Some speculate that the site may have been damaged or destroyed over time, while others believe the tomb was intentionally hidden to protect it from looters or political enemies. The challenges of locating Cleopatra and Mark Antony's tomb are immense. The passage of time has reshaped the landscape, burying ancient structures under layers of sand and modern development. Natural disasters like earthquakes may have further obscured or destroyed evidence of their burial site. Yet, the search continues, driven by the hope that one day, the resting place of these legendary figures will finally be revealed. This elusive tomb is a reminder of how the forces of nature and time can erase even the grandest monuments of history. And it's not just Cleopatra and Mark Antony's tomb that has been lost in this way. Across the globe, countless burial sites have vanished, their stories buried under the weight of centuries or swept away by the forces of nature. Imagine standing inside the tomb of Tutankhamun, surrounded by its golden treasures, only to discover that another legendary figure might be resting just beyond the walls. This is the tantalizing theory that has captured the attention of Egyptologists and history enthusiasts alike: the possibility that Queen Nefertiti's elusive tomb lies hidden within King Tut's burial chamber. Nefertiti, one of ancient Egypt's most iconic and enigmatic queens, vanished from historical records after her husband, Pharaoh Akhenaten, died. Her tomb has never been found, but in 2015, archaeologist Nicholas Reeves proposed a groundbreaking idea. He suggested that hidden doorways in Tutankhamun's tomb could lead to Nefertiti's final resting place. This theory sparked heated debates among experts. Some argue that the tomb's layout supports the idea of a hidden chamber, while others dismiss it as speculation. The stakes are high. Finding Nefertiti's tomb wouldn't just solve a centuries-old mystery, it could rewrite our understanding of ancient Egyptian history, shedding light on the Amarna period and the dramatic shifts in religion and power during her time. Her tomb could hold artifacts, inscriptions, and clues that offer a deeper glimpse into her role as a queen, a mother, and a political figure. But here's the fascinating twist: some of history's greatest secrets aren't buried deep underground. They're hidden in plain sight, waiting for the right moment or the right discovery to reveal their truth. Among history's most elusive resting places is the tomb of Attila the Hun, the infamous ruler whose empire once struck terror across Europe. Known as the Scourge of God, Attila's death in the year 453 remains shrouded in mystery, and his final resting place has never been discovered. Legends say he died on his wedding night, possibly from a nosebleed or poisoning, though the truth remains lost to time. What's even more intriguing is the supposed curse that surrounds his burial site. Ancient accounts claim that those who buried Attila were killed to keep the location secret, and many believe disturbing his tomb would unleash calamity. Theories about where Attila was laid to rest are as varied as they are fascinating. Some scholars suggest he was buried near the Danube River, a region central to his empire. Others point to the Carpathian Mountains, basing their ideas on ancient texts and geographic clues. Despite numerous searches over the centuries, no definitive evidence has ever been found. The landscape itself may hold the key, with rivers diverted or landmarks erased to obscure the site. Attila's tomb is more than just a historical enigma. It's a symbol of how entire civilizations can vanish, taking their secrets with them. The destruction of empires, natural disasters, and the passage of time have erased countless tombs from memory. In the next section, we'll explore how the fall of great civilizations has led to the permanent disappearance of some of history's most significant burial sites, leaving us with only fragments of their stories. Among the many mysteries surrounding Qin Shi Huang, China's first emperor, lies the enigma of his concubines' tombs. While the discovery of the terracotta army in the 1970s brought global attention to his burial complex, the fate of his concubines remains shrouded in uncertainty. Archaeologists have long speculated that their resting places might be hidden somewhere near the emperor's mausoleum, but so far no concrete evidence has surfaced. The sheer scale of the site, spanning over 38 square miles, makes the search for these tombs a monumental task. The terracotta army itself is a testament to the emperor's desire for grandeur in the afterlife, with thousands of life-sized soldiers crafted to protect him. Yet, the whereabouts of his concubines, who are said to have been buried alongside him, continue to elude researchers. Some theories suggest their tombs could be concealed beneath the surrounding landscape, while others propose they might have been destroyed over time. The challenges of excavating such a historically sensitive area are immense, with concerns about preserving both the artifacts and the integrity of the site itself. Adding to the intrigue are the legends that surround Qin Shi Huang's mausoleum. Stories of booby traps, rivers of mercury, and curses have fueled speculation and caution. These tales, whether rooted in truth or myth, have helped protect the site from extensive exploration, leaving much of its secrets untouched. As we ponder what lies beneath the earth, one thing is certain: the tomb complex of Qin Shi Huang, with its hidden chambers and untold stories, remains one of history's most captivating mysteries. And sometimes it's the legends themselves that guard the past as much as the stones and soil that cover it. Of all the ancient tombs that have eluded discovery, the final resting place of Alaric I, king of the Visigoths, stands out as one of the most tantalizing mysteries. This legendary figure, who famously led the sack of Rome in 410, left behind not only a legacy of conquest but also an enduring enigma about where his body was laid to rest. According to accounts from ancient historians, Alaric's burial was a spectacle of secrecy. Legend has it that his followers diverted the Busento River in southern Italy, burying him in its dry riverbed along with a trove of treasures looted from Rome. Once the grave was filled, they supposedly returned the river to its original course, ensuring the tomb would remain hidden forever. But was this elaborate tale true, or was it merely a dramatic embellishment? Modern archaeologists have long been captivated by the story, launching numerous expeditions to locate Alaric's tomb in the region of Cosenza, where the Busento flows. Advanced technology like ground-penetrating radar and underwater exploration tools have been employed, yet the tomb has remained stubbornly elusive. Some experts speculate that the river's shifting course over the centuries may have buried the site even deeper, while others suggest the tomb might lie in an entirely different location, its secrets safeguarded by time. What makes Alaric's tomb particularly intriguing is its connection to the treasures of Rome. The Visigoths were said to have taken vast amounts of gold, jewels, and artifacts during their invasion, and the thought of these riches lying undisturbed for over 1,500 years has fueled countless search efforts. Yet, the challenge of uncovering such a tomb also highlights a recurring theme in historical mysteries: how the allure of buried treasure often leads to deliberate concealment, making some secrets all but impossible to uncover. Few figures in ancient Egypt loom as large as Imhotep, a polymath whose brilliance shaped the course of history. Known as the architect of the step pyramid of Djoser, the very first monumental stone structure, Imhotep's genius extended far beyond architecture. He was a physician, priest, and advisor to Pharaoh Djoser, earning a legacy so profound that he was later deified. Yet, despite his towering influence, the location of his final resting place remains one of Egypt's most enduring mysteries. Scholars have scoured the sands for centuries, yet Imhotep's tomb has eluded discovery. Theories abound. Some believe it lies hidden beneath the sands of Saqqara, near the step pyramid he designed. Others speculate it could be in a lesser-known necropolis, deliberately concealed to protect its treasures. The challenge lies in the scarcity of records from his time, leaving modern archaeologists with only fragments of clues. This lack of documentation echoes a recurring theme in the search for lost tombs, where history's silence often becomes the greatest obstacle. As we move forward, we'll explore how these gaps in the past continue to shroud other ancient burial sites in mystery. Centuries of stories have woven the legend of King Arthur into the fabric of British folklore, but one question remains unanswered: where is his final resting place? The search for Arthur's tomb has captivated historians, archaeologists, and storytellers alike, blurring the lines between myth and history. One of the most famous claims points to Glastonbury Abbey, where monks in the 12th century declared they had discovered the graves of Arthur and Queen Guinevere. They even presented a lead cross with an inscription as proof, though many believe this was a clever fabrication to attract pilgrims and funding for the abbey. Another contender is Tintagel Castle, a windswept ruin on the coast of Cornwall, long associated with Arthur's birth and reign. Yet, despite extensive excavations, no definitive evidence of his tomb has ever been found here. The quest for Arthur's tomb is as much about unraveling the man as it is about the myth. Was he a real historical figure, a warrior king who united Britain against invaders, or is he entirely a creation of medieval romance? This uncertainty only deepens the mystery, drawing us into a world where history and legend intertwine. As we explore these sites and the stories they hold, we're reminded that some tombs are more than just burial places. They're symbols of identity, culture, and the human need to connect with the past. This journey into Arthur's legend leads us to another intriguing question. What happens when the tombs we seek are tied to figures whose very existence is still debated? The mystery of Montezuma II, the last emperor of the Aztec Empire, is one of history's most enduring enigmas. After his death in 1520 under tumultuous circumstances during the Spanish conquest, the location of his final resting place vanished into the shadows of time. The Spanish forces, led by Hernán Cortés, not only toppled the Aztec Empire but also destroyed much of its historical records and sacred sites. This loss of knowledge left us with no clear clues about where Montezuma might have been buried. Some accounts suggest he was cremated, as was traditional for Aztec rulers, while others claim he was secretly interred in an undisclosed location. Today, archaeologists and historians continue to search for answers, scouring ancient ruins and colonial-era documents for any trace of his tomb in modern-day Mexico. Yet the truth remains elusive, buried beneath centuries of conflict and cultural upheaval. This disappearance serves as a stark reminder of how colonial destruction has erased not just lives and cities, but entire chapters of history, leaving us with fragmented clues and unanswered questions. The enigma surrounding the final resting place of Aristotle, one of the most influential philosophers in history, has long captivated historians and archaeologists alike. Born in Stagira, Greece in the 4th century BCE, Aristotle's contributions to science, ethics, and logic shaped the foundations of Western thought. Yet, despite his towering legacy, the location of his tomb remained a mystery for over 2 millennia. That is, until a team of archaeologists uncovered a tomb in Stagira in 2016. The site, marked by its impressive structure and proximity to the ancient city's agora, immediately sparked speculation. Could this be the long-lost tomb of Aristotle? The evidence is intriguing. The tomb's grandeur aligns with the reverence Aristotle would have received, and its location ties directly to his birthplace. Still, scholars remain divided. Some argue that without definitive inscriptions or artifacts linked to the philosopher, the case remains open. Others believe the circumstantial evidence is too compelling to ignore. Finding Aristotle's tomb would be more than a historical breakthrough. It would offer a window into the cultural practices of ancient Greece, revealing how they honored their greatest minds. As we ponder this discovery, it's worth noting that some tombs, like this one, emerge from obscurity after centuries, reminding us that the past still holds secrets waiting to be uncovered. Now let's journey to the heart of ancient Mesopotamia, where one of the earliest and most enduring legends of human history unfolds, the Epic of Gilgamesh. This king of Uruk, immortalized in one of the oldest known pieces of literature, has captivated imaginations for millennia. But while his story survives in clay tablets, the location of his final resting place remains one of history's great enigmas. The ancient texts speak of his burial, describing it with reverence and mystery, yet modern efforts to uncover it have faced immense challenges. Mesopotamia, now modern-day Iraq, is a land layered with centuries of history, conflict, and the rise and fall of countless civilizations. Tracing the tomb of a figure as ancient as Gilgamesh is like searching for a needle in a haystack, except the haystack itself has been reshaped by time, war, and the elements. The cultural significance of finding Gilgamesh's tomb cannot be overstated. It would not only shed light on the life of this legendary king, but also provide a tangible link to one of humanity's earliest civilizations. Imagine uncovering artifacts or inscriptions that could deepen our understanding of Mesopotamian beliefs about death, the afterlife, and their connection to the divine. Yet the search is fraught with difficulty. Ancient cities like Uruk have been buried under layers of sand and rubble, their secrets hidden beneath the weight of time. And while archaeologists have made incredible discoveries in the region, the tomb of Gilgamesh continues to elude us, a tantalizing reminder of how much we still have to learn about our past. As we ponder the fate of Gilgamesh's tomb, it's worth noting that many ancient burial sites have been lost not just to time, but to the destruction of the cities they once called home. War, natural disasters, and the relentless march of progress have erased countless landmarks, leaving us with only fragments of the past. This brings us to another layer of the mystery, how the very fabric of ancient civilizations can unravel, taking their secrets with them into the shadows of history. One of the most enduring mysteries of the Ottoman Empire revolves around the final resting place of its greatest ruler, Suleyman the Magnificent. Known for his military prowess, legal reforms, and the empire's golden age under his reign, Suleyman's death in 1566 during the siege of Shajdwar marked the end of an era. But what happened to his body afterward remains shrouded in uncertainty. Historical accounts suggest he was buried near the battlefield in Hungary, but the exact location has never been confirmed. Some records indicate that his heart and internal organs were interred in a mausoleum there, while his body was transported back to Istanbul. Yet, even in Istanbul, the whereabouts of his tomb are unclear, with conflicting theories and fragmented evidence leaving historians puzzled. Over the centuries, multiple searches have been conducted in both Hungary and Turkey, driven by the desire to uncover the truth. In Hungary, archaeologists have explored the Shajvar region, hoping to pinpoint the site of his temporary burial. Meanwhile, in Turkey, researchers have scoured Istanbul's historic cemeteries, looking for clues that might lead to his final resting place. Despite these efforts, the tomb of one of history's most influential leaders remains elusive, leaving us to wonder how such a monumental figure could vanish so completely. The mystery of Suleyman's tomb isn't just about finding a burial site. It's a reminder of how the collapse of empires can erase even the grandest legacies. As civilizations fall, their monuments, records, and sacred spaces often fade into obscurity, leaving behind questions that may never be answered. This phenomenon isn't unique to Suleyman. It's a recurring theme in the search for many ancient tombs as the passage of time and the shifting tides of history conspire to keep their secrets hidden. The Mausoleum of Theodoric the Great stands as one of the most enigmatic structures in Ravenna, Italy, a city steeped in history and legend. Built in the early 6th century, this massive, dome-shaped tomb is a testament to the power of the Ostrogothic king who once ruled much of Italy. Yet, despite its grandeur, the true purpose of this monument remains shrouded in mystery. While it's widely believed to have been constructed as Theodoric's final resting place, historians and archaeologists have long debated whether his remains were ever actually placed inside. The structure itself is a marvel crafted from a single block of Istrian stone, and its design is a unique blend of Roman and Gothic architectural styles. But the question lingers, is this truly the tomb of Theodoric, or is it merely a symbolic monument to his legacy? One of the biggest challenges in unraveling this mystery lies in the scarcity of concrete evidence from the period. Theodoric's reign marked a transitional era in European history, where the lines between myth and reality often blurred. Records from that time are fragmentary, and much of what we know comes from later sources which may have been influenced by legend rather than fact. Additionally, the mausoleum has undergone centuries of neglect, restoration, and repurposing, making it difficult to trace its original contents. Some scholars argue that the tomb's unusual design suggests it was never intended to hold a body, while others point to ancient texts that claim Theodoric was buried there. Without definitive proof, the debate continues to captivate those who study the ancient world. Another layer of intrigue comes from the stories surrounding Theodoric's death and burial. According to one legend, he was struck by lightning and killed as divine punishment for his sins. This tale, though likely embellished, adds to the aura of mystery that surrounds his final resting place. It also highlights how the blending of myth and history can complicate efforts to locate ancient tombs. As we piece together the fragments of the past, we're often left with more questions than answers, especially when the stories we rely on are steeped in symbolism and folklore. This fascinating interplay between fact and fiction reminds us why some tombs remain lost to time, their secrets buried beneath layers of legend and interpretation. Among the most elusive tombs in history is that of Kublai Khan, the legendary founder of the Yuan dynasty and the man who ruled one of the largest empires the world has ever seen. Despite his monumental legacy, the location of his final resting place remains shrouded in mystery. Kublai Khan's burial was conducted with extraordinary secrecy, a practice common among Mongol rulers to protect their graves from desecration. Historical accounts suggest he was laid to rest somewhere in the rugged landscapes of Mongolia, but the exact site has never been discovered. Theories abound. Some believe his tomb lies hidden in the sacred mountains of the Khentai range, while others speculate it could be concealed beneath the vast steppes, blending seamlessly with the natural terrain. What makes the search for Kublai Khan's tomb so compelling is not just the historical intrigue but the cultural significance it holds. Finding it could unlock secrets about Mongol burial customs, their architectural practices, and even the political strategies of the Yuan dynasty. It would also provide a tangible connection to a figure who bridged the East and West, influencing trade, culture, and governance across continents. The vastness of Mongolia's landscape, however, presents a formidable challenge. The sheer scale of the search area, combined with the lack of written records, has turned this quest into one of the great archaeological puzzles of our time. And as with many ancient tombs, sometimes it's not just secrecy, but the enormity of the burial grounds themselves that keeps them hidden for centuries. Eric the Red, the fiery Viking explorer who colonized Greenland, remains one of history's most fascinating figures, yet his final resting place is a mystery that continues to elude us. Known for his adventurous spirit and relentless determination, Eric's life is well documented in the sagas, but his death and burial are shrouded in uncertainty. Where exactly was he laid to rest? Despite centuries of searching, his tomb has never been found, leaving us with tantalizing questions about his legacy and the Viking presence in Greenland. The challenge of locating Eric's tomb lies in Greenland's unforgiving terrain. Its vast, icy landscapes and shifting glaciers make archaeological efforts incredibly difficult. Early Norse settlements, where Eric likely spent his final years, are scattered across the island, with many sites still undiscovered or buried under layers of ice. Even with modern technology, uncovering these ancient remnants is like searching for a needle in a frozen haystack. Compounding the issue is the fact that Viking burials often lack the grandeur of other ancient cultures, simple graves marked by stones or mounds that could easily blend into the natural environment over time. Finding Eric the Red's tomb would be a monumental discovery, offering unprecedented insights into Viking history. It could reveal details about their burial customs, their daily lives, and their adaptation to Greenland's harsh climate. More than that, it would give us a tangible connection to a man whose bold explorations shaped the course of history. Imagine holding an artifact that Eric himself once touched, a piece of history that brings the sagas to life in a way nothing else could. As we reflect on the challenges of locating tombs like Eric's, it's clear that harsh environments play a significant role in their disappearance. Whether it's Greenland's icy expanse or the shifting sands of desert tombs, nature has a way of preserving secrets for centuries or burying them forever. This brings us to the next chapter of our exploration, where we'll uncover how extreme climates have hidden some of history's most enigmatic tombs from discovery. Few figures in ancient history are as legendary as Hannibal, the Carthaginian general whose daring crossing of the Alps with war elephants remains one of the most audacious military maneuvers ever attempted. Yet for all his fame, the final resting place of this brilliant strategist remains one of history's enduring mysteries. Despite countless searches and theories, the location of Hannibal's tomb has eluded discovery for over 2,000 years. It's believed that after his defeat and exile, Hannibal spent his final years moving between the courts of rival powers, eventually ending his life in what is now modern-day Turkey. Some accounts suggest he was buried near the ancient city of Libya, while others point to locations as far-flung as Libya. The lack of definitive records combined with the passage of time has turned the search into a complex puzzle. One of the greatest challenges in locating Hannibal's tomb lies in the scarcity of historical evidence. The destruction of Carthage by Rome left few primary sources about his later life, and the shifting political landscapes of the ancient world further obscured his final years. Even if a potential site is identified, verifying its authenticity becomes a monumental task, as centuries of erosion, construction, and natural disasters have altered the terrain beyond recognition. Hannibal's story is a reminder that some tombs are lost not just to time, but to the silence of history itself. Without written records or clear markers, these burial sites become whispers of the past, tantalizingly out of reach. And as we'll see next, this lack of evidence isn't unique to Hannibal. It's a recurring theme in the search for many ancient tombs, leaving us to piece together fragments of a once vivid history. Beneath the grand door of St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City lies a mystery that has captivated scholars and believers for centuries: the final resting place of St. Peter, one of Christianity's most revered figures. According to tradition, Peter, the apostle chosen by Jesus to lead his church, was martyred in Rome during the reign of Emperor Nero. But where exactly was he buried? The search for his tomb has been a focus of both faith and archaeology for generations. In the mid-20th century, excavations beneath the basilica revealed a complex network of ancient burial sites. Among them was a simple grave marked with graffiti that seemed to reference Peter. For many, this was a moment of profound discovery, suggesting that the apostle's remains had been found. Yet, the evidence remains inconclusive. Skeptics argue that the inscriptions could be interpreted in different ways, and the bones themselves have been the subject of intense debate. Are they truly Peter's, or do they belong to someone else entirely? The religious significance of this mystery cannot be overstated. For Catholics, locating Peter's tomb would be a direct link to the origins of their faith, a tangible connection to the man Christ called the rock upon which he would build his church. This quest isn't just about archaeology, it's about identity, continuity, and the enduring power of belief. As time marches on, some tombs vanish not just into the earth but into the fog of history, obscured by the ravages of time and the turmoil of religious conflicts. The search for St. Peter's tomb reminds us how fragile these connections can be, and how the past often holds secrets that resist even the most determined efforts to uncover them. The story of Lady Dai, also known as Xinjui, is nothing short of extraordinary. Buried over 2,000 years ago during the Han Dynasty, her tomb was unearthed in the early 1970s in the Mawangdui site of Hunan, China. What made this discovery so remarkable wasn't just the intricate artifacts found alongside her, but the astonishing preservation of her body itself. Lady Dai's remains were so intact that her skin retained elasticity, her hair was still in place, and even her organs were preserved in remarkable condition. This level of preservation has led her to be hailed as one of the best preserved mummies ever discovered, a window into the advanced funerary practices of ancient China. The contents of her tomb revealed a wealth of information about her life and the society she lived in. Silk robes, lacquerware, and detailed records of her diet and lifestyle painted a vivid picture of elite Han Dynasty culture. Yet, even with these incredible findings, questions linger. Some researchers speculate that Lady Dai's tomb might not be the only one of its kind. Could there be other burial sites nearby, equally rich in artifacts and cultural insights? The possibility fuels ongoing archaeological interest in the region. What makes Lady Dai's tomb particularly significant is how it challenges our understanding of ancient preservation techniques. The airtight burial chamber, combined with layers of charcoal and clay, created an environment that defied time. This level of sophistication speaks volumes about the ingenuity of ancient Chinese civilization. Yet, despite the wealth of knowledge gained from her tomb, the discovery itself was almost accidental. It serves as a reminder that some of history's greatest mysteries are uncovered not through deliberate search but by chance. This idea of serendipity in archaeology brings us to the next chapter in our exploration of lost tombs, a story where fate played an equally pivotal role in unearthing secrets long buried. Beneath the bustling streets of modern-day Rome lies a mystery that has captivated historians and archaeologists for centuries: the lost tomb of Romulus. According to legend, Romulus was the founder of Rome, a figure shrouded in myth and symbolism. His story is one of fratricide and divine destiny, but it's the mystery of his final resting place that continues to intrigue. While ancient texts suggest he was buried somewhere near the heart of the city, the exact location has remained elusive, blending the lines between history and myth. Recent excavations in the Roman Forum have sparked fresh debate among experts. Archaeologists uncovered a small shrine or heroine dating back to the 6th century BC, which some believe could be linked to Romulus. The shrine contains an altar and a stone sarcophagus, but no human remains have been found. This discovery has reignited discussions about whether Romulus was a historical figure or merely a legendary construct. The shrine's location, deep within the Forum, the political and religious center of ancient Rome, suggests it held great significance, but the connection to Romulus remains speculative. The search for Romulus's tomb is more than just an archaeological pursuit. It's a quest to understand the origins of one of the most influential civilizations in history. Finding his tomb could provide tangible evidence of Rome's mythical beginnings, bridging the gap between legend and reality. It would also offer deeper insight into how the Romans themselves viewed their founder, immortalizing him not just in stories but in stone. Yet, the mystery of Romulus's tomb also highlights a broader challenge in archaeology: the interplay between myth and physical evidence. Many ancient tombs remain lost because they exist in the murky space where history and folklore intertwine. As we move forward, this blending of myth and archaeology will continue to shape our understanding of the past, reminding us that some mysteries may never be fully solved. One of the most enduring legends in history is that of Prester John, a figure who has captivated imaginations for centuries. Described as a powerful Christian king ruling over a distant and wealthy kingdom, his story first emerged in the Middle Ages. Many believed he would come to aid the Crusaders in their fight against Islamic forces, and tales of his kingdom became a symbol of hope and divine intervention. But here's the twist: despite countless expeditions and searches, Prester John's tomb has never been found, leaving historians and treasure hunters alike in a state of tantalizing uncertainty. Where could this legendary king's final resting place be? Theories span continents. Some point to Ethiopia, where stories of a Christian monarch align with Prester John's description. Others suggest Central Asia, where the Silk Road's vast network of trade routes could have carried tales of his reign. There's even speculation that his tomb might lie somewhere in the Himalayan region, blending myth with the mysteries of the ancient world. Each theory paints a vivid picture of Prester John's cultural and historical significance, but the truth remains shrouded in mystery. What makes the search for his tomb so compelling isn't just the potential discovery of a historical figure. It's the way his story intersects with faith, legend, and the human desire to believe in something greater. Finding Prester John's tomb would not only answer a centuries-old question, but also shed light on the cultural connections between East and West during a time of great upheaval. As we explore these mysteries, it's worth noting how figures like Prester John blur the line between history and myth. Their legacies endure precisely because they inspire us to keep searching, even when the answers seem just out of reach. And speaking of figures who straddle that line, some tombs remain lost not because they were hidden or destroyed, but because their very existence is tied to stories that feel more legend than fact. Let's turn our attention to one such case next. Legend has it that the Queen of Sheba, a figure immortalized in both the Bible and the Quran, was not only a ruler of immense wisdom and wealth, but also a woman whose final resting place remains one of history's greatest mysteries. Stories of her legendary meeting with King Solomon have captivated imaginations for centuries, but the location of her tomb continues to elude archaeologists and historians alike. Was she buried in Ethiopia, where tradition claims her lineage lives on? Or does her tomb lie hidden in the rugged landscapes of Yemen, the land often associated with her kingdom? The debate over her burial site is as complex as the myths surrounding her. In Ethiopia, the ancient city of Axum is said to hold her remains, with local traditions even linking her to the Ark of the Covenant. Yet, Yemen offers its own compelling narrative, with some scholars pointing to the ruins of Marib as the heart of her kingdom. The challenge lies in separating fact from centuries of embellished legend. Over time, her story has been woven into religious texts, folklore, and even political claims, making it difficult to pinpoint a definitive location. Adding to the intrigue is the passage of time. Centuries of erosion, shifting borders, and the blending of cultures have obscured any physical evidence that might lead us to her tomb. The search is further complicated by the way her legacy has become intertwined with both religious devotion and national identity. In many ways, the Queen of Sheba's tomb is not just a historical puzzle, but also a symbol of how ancient figures can transcend time, becoming part of the fabric of faith and culture. This blending of religion and history is a recurring theme when it comes to lost tombs. As we'll see, many burial sites vanish not because they're hidden by nature or time, but because their stories become so deeply embedded in myth and belief that the line between fact and legend becomes impossible to untangle. Among the most enduring enigmas in Chinese history is the lost tomb of the Yellow Emperor, a figure shrouded in both legend and reverence. Known as one of the founding fathers of Chinese civilization, the Yellow Emperor is said to have ruled around the 26th century BC, credited with advancements in medicine, agriculture, and governance. Yet, despite his monumental legacy, the location of his final resting place remains a mystery that continues to captivate historians and archaeologists alike. The cultural significance of the Yellow Emperor's tomb cannot be overstated. For centuries, he has been venerated as a symbol of unity and innovation, with his supposed burial site becoming a focal point of national pride. The most commonly cited location is in Shaanxi province, where a mausoleum dedicated to him stands today. However, whether this site truly houses his remains or serves as a symbolic tribute is a question that has yet to be definitively answered. One of the greatest challenges in uncovering the truth lies in the nature of the Yellow Emperor's story itself. His life and achievements are steeped in myth, blending historical accounts with folklore that has been passed down through generations. Separating fact from legend is no easy task, especially when dealing with a figure whose existence predates written records by centuries. This ambiguity has fueled both fascination and frustration, as modern researchers grapple with the task of verifying a story that has become interwoven with the identity of an entire culture. The search for the Yellow Emperor's tomb is further complicated by the passage of time. Natural changes to the landscape, the rise and fall of dynasties, and the shifting priorities of historical preservation have all played a role in obscuring any potential clues. Yet the quest persists, driven by a deep desire to connect with one of history's most influential figures. This story of a tomb lost to myth and time is far from unique. Across the world, many ancient burial sites remain elusive, their locations clouded by tales of gods, heroes, and fantastical events. These legends, while captivating, often obscure the truth, leaving us to wonder where the line between history and myth truly lies. The story of the Amazon Queen is one of those tantalizing fragments of Greek mythology that blurs the line between legend and history. Known for her fierce leadership and unmatched warrior skills, she remains a figure of awe and intrigue. Yet, despite her prominence in ancient tales, the location of her tomb has eluded discovery for centuries. This isn't just a matter of misplaced geography, it's a mystery that challenges our understanding of myth, history, and the cultural legacy of the Amazons. One of the most compelling theories suggests her tomb could be hidden somewhere in the remote regions of the Black Sea, where the Amazons were said to have established their society. Archaeologists and historians have scoured these areas, but the rugged terrain and lack of definitive clues have made the search incredibly difficult. Another theory points to ancient burial mounds scattered across the Eurasian steppe, where nomadic tribes possibly linked to the Amazons once roamed. These mounds, known as kurgans, have yielded remarkable artifacts, but none yet confirm the resting place of the legendary queen. The cultural significance of finding her tomb can't be overstated. It would not only provide insight into the lives of the Amazons, but also challenge long-held assumptions about their role in ancient societies. Were they merely mythical figures, or did they represent a real matriarchal culture that history has overlooked? Discovering her tomb could rewrite parts of our understanding of the ancient world. As we reflect on the enduring mystery of the Amazon Queen's tomb, we're reminded of the vast gaps in our knowledge of the past. These unresolved questions aren't just historical puzzles, they're invitations to explore, to question, and to marvel at the stories that continue to captivate us. The hunt for her tomb, like so many other ancient mysteries, reminds us that history is not a closed book but an ever-unfolding narrative, waiting for the next clue to be uncovered. Throughout this journey, we've uncovered some of history's most tantalizing mysteries, tombs that have eluded discovery for centuries, leaving us with more questions than answers. From the elusive resting place of Alexander the Great to the enigmatic missing tombs of Genghis Khan and Cleopatra, each story reminds us of the enduring allure of the unknown. These lost tombs are not just buried treasures, they are gateways to understanding the lives, legacies, and civilizations that shaped our world. What makes these mysteries so captivating is their ability to challenge our imagination. They invite us to ponder the secrets they might hold and the lessons they could teach us about the past. They remind us that history is not just a collection of facts but a living, breathing puzzle waiting to be solved. And while archaeologists and historians continue their tireless search, the enduring fascination with these tombs speaks to something deeper, our shared human curiosity and the drive to uncover the stories that time has tried to erase. So, what do you think? Which of these lost tombs intrigues you the most? Is it the grandeur of Alexander's legendary resting place, the mystique of Genghis Khan's hidden burial, or the dramatic final chapter of Cleopatra's life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your theories and ideas. And if you're as captivated by these historical enigmas as we are, don't forget to subscribe and join us as we continue to explore the unsolved mysteries of our past. Together, let's dive deeper into the stories that history has left untold.